Welcome to Game 4 of the NBA Finals. When a series is 2 games to 1, one team says, we're ready to take complete control of the series, while the other one says, hold on a minute, there's a lot of basketball left to be played. Tatum another three. An early 7-point lead for Boston. Curry steps back, three-pointer, got it. Curry, back-to-back long-distance threes, and a 5-point lead for the Warriors. Brown drives, scoop layup off the glass. Throws a three, gets the ball count, and one.
Tatum spins inside the free throw line, hangs in the air, little finger roll up and good. Bounce pass, Payton flies in for a dunk.
White spins inside layup. Oh, it's good, and the foul.
Curry fires away, the three ball's good, top of the key.
Spectacular performance for one of the all-time greats on the biggest stage.
This is, to me, one of the best Warrior wins that I can remember.
Back in the Bay, all tied at 2. And now it's a best of 3. Who will be at their best in a pivotal Game 5? We saw maybe Steph's best finals performance ever, but can he do it again? Or will the Celtics continue to show they're at their best following a loss? Either way, buckle up, Steph with the stripes walking in, because we are in for an absolute show in Game 5. And we welcome you into Hoop Streams presented by Hotels.com, coming to you live on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and the ESPN app. I'm Cassidy Hubbard alongside Christine Williamson and Kendra Perkins, back where it started.
You know what I mean? Back like I forgot. You know what I'm saying? I had to get right before I got left.
Never. Game 5, how you feeling about your Celtics?
You know what? I'm going to be all the way honest. I'm more nervous than my kids catching me and they snacks in the pantry.
Stop it.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing.
And their snacks?
Yeah, and their snacks.
You bought them, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's theirs, and I'm not supposed to be in there. Let me tell you why. It's the inconsistency of the Boston Celtics. Yeah. And I'm not talking about the others. I'm talking about the superstars. I'm talking about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like, I've been saying it all along.
Jaylen's right behind us, by the way.
And that's fine, and it's cool because I say it in front of his face like I am right now. Here's the thing that I want to say. When is Jason Tatum, going to be the best player on the floor in just one game? Just one game.
Right. I mean, he showed up before in these playoffs, so it's not like he hasn't had a big game. We'll see if tonight is his big game in these finals. But you guys stay right here, because I need to talk to the audience for a quick second.
We should close our eyes, I feel like.
Oh, I'm going to fall? Don't worry about it. Okay, guys, I just want to tell you guys something. Can you have a special word that if anyone in this show says it, they got to suffer the repercussions? Don't look, Christine. Don't look. You see? It's right down here. Oh, right over here. You can see it. Whatever. If anyone says that phrase, they're going to suffer some consequences. All right, get it off the screen, because Perk already saw it. Perk did not see it.
I did not see it. I did not see it. I did not see it.
All right, I got to make sure I don't fall again, because that was not graceful. All right, so Game 5. Yeah. So many emotions so far these finals. We saw this tweet that kind of perfectly summed it up. This man, Bill Burt, he said the NBA emotions. Game 1, oh my God, the Celtics are better. Game 2, oh wait, no they're not. Game 3, LOL, yes they are. Future Dynasty, Tatum, future of the NBA. Game 4, LOL, no they're not. Steph's still better by far. Did you feel like that's been that big of a roller coaster?
It has, and this is why so many people predicted this series to go 7. And by the way, whoever that was it Bill? I'm jealous of him right now because he outdid me on Twitter. That was classic. But this is what it's been. It's been up and down. It's been, you know, one team bouncing back after adversity, facing adversity. They having a bounce back game, but no team has had a follow-up game.
Yeah, that's very true. We haven't acknowledged the fact that me and Perk are matching, and it's like ebony and ivory over here. We love this. I was just looking at the screen like, look at us.
You guys
look at us. We look great. We look great.
It's a Texas style.
Another thing that happened on Twitter, obviously Steph went off for 43 points, right? So the tweeters, I know Perk, you know about this. I call you guys tweeters. Went crazy. A lot of notable people on Twitter. First, of course, I have LeBron James's notifications turned on. I saw this when it went live. There's George Kittle getting in on the action.
That was an odd humble brag.
He just thanks the Warriors. Joel Embiid said the man is amazing.
True.
Joe Mixon, LFG, you guys know what that means, right?
No, oh, let's
That means let's go. Yeah.
I had to
Tyrese
take a
Halliburton got in the conversation.
Why did she question our ability
Hey,
to
y'all
keep up
I
with the
mean,
young
yeah,
ones?
who knows? The Warriors, Dwayne Wade.
Wade was fired up.
Yeah, he's a bad MFer. CJ McCollum, who was on our show,
You know
30 is a bad boy.
You know you got to be bad when they just call you by your jersey number.
30?
Exactly.
30? Really? Is that what that means?
Yeah.
He's different. Actually, Seth was at the game tweeting about his brother. So, I mean, obviously we saw Steph Curry go off. What was your reaction?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
I was in awe. I kept saying to myself, what player from the Golden State Warriors is going to have that epic performance in the Garden in a hostile environment?
Yeah.
We seen Jordan do it. Wasn't in the finals, but he had 3 against the Boston Celtics back in his day.
Right.
We saw an epic Game 6 out of LeBron James when he was with the Miami Heat. We saw an epic Game 6 in this Eastern Conference Finals with Jimmy Butler when he dropped 47. For Steph to go in there in that hostile environment, he hasn't played in a place like that in his whole playoff career. To do what he did in a must-win situation, I was in awe. But it goes to.
And he's been playing well throughout these finals, but
Right.
that was a masterpiece performance. And did you see this? That Steph now has better odds to win Finals MVP than the Warriors do the Finals. And Perk, we saw your tweet. Why should Steph win MVP even if the Warriors lose?
Because he's been the best player, and it's not even close. Like, the man is averaging close to 35 points a night, shooting 49% from the field right now. I don't even know, like, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are so far behind them, it's ridiculous at this point. And I'm just looking at it. We made this mistake one time with LeBron James when he had that dominance finals and he lost.
2015,
Please, let's
Andre
not do
Iguodala won MVP
this.
that
Please,
year.
let's not take away from Steph Curry and what he's doing right now. This man should win Finals MVP. I don't see him slowing down.
I mean, what if Jason Tatum has a
Right.
astronomical
It's too late.
performance?
It's too late because we already halfway. We already
tied,
halfway.
though.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, what if he goes off, though?
Well, look,
You're gonna have to go off.
and I think he kind of silenced any of those concerns about his foot injury after that last performance. He's warming up right now behind us. But look, heading into Game 4, all of us on Hoop Streams had a lot to say about Steph Curry heading into it, and he met them. Let's take a look back, specifically how right I was.
We got receipts.
What's your level of concern around Steph's health?
0% concern.
For as much as the Warriors have going for them, the only matchup that has been consistently in their favor has been Steph Curry.
What do the Warriors need out of Steph tonight in order to even this up?
They need greatness. They need legendary. They need everything he can provide.
This is a must-win NBA Finals game. He is going to go, and he's going to be just fine. Look at him. Look at that.
Steph can take it to another level. I've seen it.
Yep.
They need it. If the table is set for it, Steph, go get 40.
I think that there's a bounce back and maybe a special Steph performance.
Steph, take the wheel. Take the wheel.
And look, Steph Curry, absolutely dominant in that performance. And most points per minute through the first 4 games, he has been sensational in these playoffs. The second to Rick Barry back in 1967. And back now with Perk and Brian Windhorst, hosts of the Hoop Collective podcast. New episodes before and after every finals
Carry
game.
on, Perk.
You already know.
And take the wheel and take a bow, Brian Windhorst.
No, I honestly,
You called it though.
you can just see that this is a special series for Steph Curry. He's waited his whole life since he was probably in grade school and they started double teaming him. He would lay awake at night and said, what would happen if I could play in a game, in a big game, and I wouldn't get double teamed? And the Celtics have made that come true, and he has taken advantage of it. And here's the other thing. I don't think the Celtics are going to change their defense, Perk. I think they're okay that the Warriors are averaging 105 points, that they're shooting 44%. They are betting that Steph will not keep this up. He will not keep shooting 50% from three-point range, and that it's going to work. And so the door is open for Steph to keep going. I don't know if he can score more than 43 points. He can take more than 26 shots. He can play more than 41 minutes. we may, I'm not saying for sure, we may not even see the best of Steph in the series.
Well, hey, look, if a person show you who they are, guess what?
Believe them?
You got to believe them. And this is who Steph Curry is right now at the moment. Like, he has it on his mind. Everybody on the outside, including myself, we talk about what this fight, him winning another championship, what it would mean to Steph Curry. I think he feels that way. And right now, the way that he's approaching this series, the way that he's approaching this matchup, especially going against a guy like Marcus Smart and this Celtic defensive team. I don't care what coverage they're in. This is an elite, one of the best defensive teams that we've seen in playoff history, and he's averaging 35. Not 30, 30. 35.
I mean, when we were in Boston, all of us, we knew we were watching greatness. Were we watching his greatest performance yet in these finals? Steph Curry said he doesn't like to rank his performances. Lucky for him, we do like to rank performances, so let's go through them. And let's start with Game 5 of the 2015 Finals. Baby Steph, the babyface assassin.
Against Perk. Perk was on this team.
Yeah, I was on it, but I wasn't on it.
He had a team-high 37 points en route to the Warriors' 104-90 win over LeBron and the Cavs. Now, I have an issue with this. I didn't cut this. Our group is saying that Game 4 was his 4th best performance.
What?
Yes.
This is in a ranking order?
Yes, this is in a ranking order. I got to speak to whoever cut this, but
okay.
you know, as we went over it, 43 points, 10 boards.
I'm enjoying watching it. That's all I'm going to say.
That's exactly right. Number 3, 2019 NBA Finals. After losing KD to injury, Curry would do everything he could to will. Think that this was better than Game 4?
No, because they lost, and in this game, they were down by like 20-something points in this game. And I remember tweeting that this was the most meaningless 47 points that I ever seen.
Okay, well, what about this game? Do you think this game was better than Game 4, 2016? Scoring 24 of his 38 points in the second half?
Any game is better when you see Richard Jefferson getting cooked in the highlight.
He sure did. Curry would account for all of Golden State's points in the last 5:56. Brian.
It was great. It was not Game 4 the other night. Sorry.
Well, what about this one? This is the true debate here. Game 2016, ball out, finishing 32, 10, and 11, posting a triple-double, and the Warriors would win their title in 5 games.
This is probably the best team of my lifetime, the 2017 Warriors. And it was a nice, great, terrific game. It was not the game of his playoff career. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry whoever cut that, but you know, it was a nice walk down memory lane. Dwayne Wade chimed in after that Game 4 performance, and he said expanding the Mount Rushmore and making room for this bad MFer is the only conversation that should be going around about Stephen Wardell Curry. Sincerely, Dwayne Wade. Perk, we need to look at Perk's face here because you're reading that.
Yeah, because you know why? Let me go on the rant for a second.
Okay, go. I
bought this up about a month ago, and I said, you know, at the door at being a top 10 player, it depends on what's your preference. And then I said, you know, the way that he changed the game of basketball forever, him winning the Finals MVP, his resume being so long, and all this and that, I said, somebody might have to move along for us being on Mount Rushmore. People call me crazy. Now all of a sudden you have another great in Dwayne Wade who's basically saying the same thing, and now it don't sound so crazy anymore, right?
I mean, I don't know why you can't compliment a guy for being awesome. Why does he have to be ranked in the top?
That's what we do, Wendy.
Leads me to my next question. Let's get your Mount Rushmore. Brian, just play along. Who's your Mount Rushmore right now?
Well, Michael Jordan is on. You can go ahead and engrave that face on the mountain. I think LeBron James is there.
I agree.
I think Bill Russell is there.
Huh?
Bill Russell is there. And at the 4th spot, we could argue for 4 or 5 people, but I don't really think Steph's if you're going to have 4, Mount Rushmore's got 4 people on it.
So
You're talking about expanding it. I mean, that's a different conversation.
Well, I'm going right now today, live in the flesh, is Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, and Magic. Right? But Steph is on Magic heels like a pair of church socks.
So he would be 5. If you were to expand it, how much would you have to expand
how much
it to
time you got?
Steph?
No,
Okay.
hold on.
Right.
When I say he's on his heels, meaning we have to realize, we have to watch and see what happens in these finals. If he win it and win the finals MVP, guess what? I'm removing Magic because at 6'2", 6'3", let me throw something out there, child. Do y'all know, for us, his field goal percentage, 2-point field goal percentage, Steph Curry is the most efficient 20-point per game scorer in NBA history. Also, he shoots a higher percentage in his career than Akeem Olajuwon. Do you know how much, that speaks volumes? Power forwards and centers that dunk the damn basketball, and he is more efficient than them in his career. That is unheard of.
I just want to throw a little monkey wrench. Kobe or Steph right now?
Steph Curry.
With your chest. All right.
I'm glad you didn't ask me that.
If Steph continues to play at this level like he did in Game 4, I think it'll be hard to keep him out of any list of the best.
He is an all-time great player.
And he had an all-time great performance in Game 4. Let's take a look back.
Felt like we just had to let everybody know that we were here tonight.
Curry, another long-distance shot. It's good.
Try to create some momentum.
Where would you put this in his finals performance resume?
I think probably number 1.
I don't rate my performances. We should just win the game.
Get some contact, layup, got it, and 1.
You and I, we are not alike.
That shot was ridiculous.
But you don't shine when they hit a light.
Oh, Steph Curry from way downtown. Curry, three-pointer, bang!
2-2 is way better than 3-1 going home, so job well done tonight.
So Steph Curry has led all players on both teams in points in each of the first 4 games of the NBA Finals. And he scored 48 more points than anyone else in the series. He's also the 3rd oldest player with 40 points in a finals game, trailing only LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Speaking of those GOATs, time now for GOAT Check, but with a little twist.
This is the best. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
So, DB, we've been hearing that you've been feeling left out a little bit when it comes to props. Back with Monica McNutt, and of course, the GOAT, Doris Burke. Make sure to check out their call on the ESPN radio, of course, for Game 5. So we wanted to bring in some props for you.
Yes!
And we're doing crown or frown.
Amen.
Okay, we got the crown and UDB, or we're going to do frown. So crown, you're going to crown them if you're feeling good about it. To this, and let's start with Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Scored just 3 points and was 1 of 5 in the 4th quarter. Nemanja Bjelica was matched up with Jason Tatum. Our guy, Rob Perez, sent out this tweet in the 4th quarter, and he's sharing responsibilities with Wiggins. But, of course, seeing Nemanja Bjelica, who's a very good player, but he kind of looks like a guy out there at the Y. So, do you crown the Warriors team defense or frown Tatum's 4th quarter performance in Game 4?
I know where this is going from DB.
It has to be a frown for the Celtics, who are anemic in the 4th quarter and better figure that out.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, his last bucket. You're going to be a great player. That's a big-time frown.
Yeah, I got to go frown too. By my count, 4, but earlier today, Kendrick Perkins and I were talking about this. He said 6 possessions that the Celtics opted to shoot a 3, and it was not vital, crucial, or essential. Basic understanding of time and score, guys. Come on.
And look, I mean, I hate doing the whole, Kobe thing, because we did that a lot with Devin Booker, but if Kobe is Jason Tatum's idol, him shooting 11.8% from mid-range is not really living up to his idol. He's also shooting 25% in the paint. All right, let's move on. Speaking of the 4th quarter, the Warriors in Game 4 went on a 17-3 run to close it out, highlighting the Celtics' clutch issues, okay? Are you crowning the Warriors' performance or frowning the Celtics' end of game play?
Go ahead, Monica.
All right, I'm crowning the Warriors on this one because it was led by Steph Curry, who we know put up a historic performance. It's so crazy. We're sitting courtside. He hits that three on the left or the right side of the floor, and it was like, oh, there it is. That's a wrap. And then after that, you saw vintage Draymond Green at points. He had 2 big-time passes over the course of that fourth, and you see this entire team just kind of kick it into next gear.
First of all, I'm so damn happy with my props.
I'm telling you, she keeps saying, where's my prop?
I am giving them the crown. That was championship medal, and she made all the right points offensively. How about Klay Thompson in the fourth quarter? 18 different matchups. I'm going to say it, 0. Nobody scored against Klay Thompson. He got down in the stance. He guarded like he could. Look out now. He's starting to look like himself.
I'm going to throw in just an extra one here. Are you crowning or frowning Draymond and how Steve Kerr used him in Game 4 and maybe using him in the same way in Game 5?
At the risk of making Draymond really angry, I thought it was brilliant. Yes. I'm crowning Steve Kerr.
I agree. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But again, that championship medal is also trusting your head coach, even if it is a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. All right. Lastly, guys, both the Celtics and Warriors undefeated after a loss. We keep hearing this stat. But the Warriors, they now have home court advantage with games 5 and 7, obviously at home. If this trend continues, Warriors need to break the trend. Do you crown or frown home court advantage, DB?
I'm frowning on that. I'm frowning on that because they don't have home court advantage unless they win tonight.
Okay.
They've not achieved anything, and both have shown some inconsistencies. Think about Boston in the last series. Win Game 5 at home, lose on the road. No, reverse that. But think about it. They had to win a Game 7 because they lost at home in Game 6.
Yes.
Yep, you're right. I am going to crown that, though, because I said coming into the series, I thought that the home court advantage would be the defining factor. I had Warriors in 7. I honestly think, guys, the next 2 games go to the visiting team, and we're back here for 7.
I just like that she put up the crown again.
So that's your prediction.
Yeah.
Celtics win tonight?
Yeah.
I think I'm feeling the same way.
Wow.
Who are you guys going with? You guys were both wrong last night.
We're so good at this.
If you're I think Boston picked the other team. I think Boston.
Okay. You hear that? You hear that? Get on that betting line. Thank you, Doris, as always. Are you happy with your crown?
I'm so happy.
Okay.
Y'all are just spoiling me left and right.
Hey,
I need like a crown polish or something. Like, how do I fit into this? The crown, Her Majesty.
This purple outfit is fabulous.
Thank you, darling.
See, there we go. And make sure to check them out both on ESPN Radio tonight for the call of Game 5. We'll see another good game in Game 5. And our Malika Andrews sat down with him earlier this week and talked about what lights his fire.
A lot has been made of Game 6 Klay. But we've seen Game 5 Klay. What are you doing to prepare to unleash that kind of performance?
Man, I wish I could do that nightly, but for me, it's hard to go out there and say I'm going to score 40. My game's not like that. I go with the flow, and if the ball finds me, I'm going to let it fly. And I've heard Tiger Woods say that he visualizes every single shot he shoots on the golf course. I try to apply the same method to basketball and just envisioning my footwork and my body position and that ball just flowing off my fingertips and hearing the swish of the net.
It's just purity. Splash. It's a work of art.
You said that Steph Curry, he's this team's identity. What are you to this team?
I guess I'm a fixture, a steady presence of a dynastic run. I've never been the one to seek the headlines or the spotlight. I just love winning, and I love being a part of a winning organization. We're really trying to write a legacy here and just leave a long-lasting impression of greatness of basketball in the Bay Area.
I mean, he truly is still one of the great stories in the NBA. Crazy to think that it was 3 years ago today, Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals, and he tore his ACL, and here he is. Curry and Thompson have made 73 pointers in the same postseason for the 3rd time as teammates. No other duo has done this once. Speaking of dynamic duos, back with Monica and Brian Windhorst. And guys, guys. We're tied at 2 games apiece, so I think we have enough information in order to assign some grades. Call them the midterm grades, okay? You like that? Okay. And we're gonna grade the star players. Obviously, Steph gets an A plus.
Extra credit.
We're not going to, extra credit. We're not going to grade him. But what about who we just saw, the other Splash brother? How would you grade Klay Thompson's performance in these finals so far? Starting with you, Brian.
I'm going to say B-. He's been a couple of moments, a couple of stretches in games when he's been able to be impactful offensively, and a couple of moments when he's been impactful defensively. But when we expect from him, and the fact that he, in the last series, he finished and closed out the Mavericks with a 32-point game, we were expecting more out of him. Yeah. He can play better, and he would admit that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I went a little harsher on my grade.
Dang!
I got a C, because it's average. It is not anything of note, in my opinion, from Klay Thompson. Now, the stat that Doris mentioned in terms of his ability to guard in the fourth quarter of Game 4 is very impressive, but I think there's still more that this organization, this team needs from him on the offensive end. So I need him to be above average if you're trying to get a final.
I think I'm similar to you, but I gave him a. He's trending in the right direction, okay? Because, you know, the first 2 games averaged 13 points. Now he's up taking 21.5 points per game. I think he's only going to continue to get better. So B- is like, hey, you're not in the middle of the pack, but you can still do better.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. I don't think anybody could forget about Dre in these finals. But there's been a lot of talk about his production or lack thereof. But he, you know, it's not the box score is how you grade Draymond Green. So using your eyes, how would you grade Draymond 4 games into the series?
I'm going to give a C-, and I kicking the ball into the fairway a little bit for him, because I'm crediting him because he did play well in the last 2 minutes of Game 4. He did. Last time we were here, last week, he had a good performance in Game 2, but he's 6 of 26 from the field.
Yes.
And he's, you know, turned the ball over. He's, you know, fouled a lot. He's just, frankly, if you have to rank 10 players on the court, a lot of times he'd be the 10th best player on the court. And that just can't be. When he's impactful at both ends, even if he doesn't score, and that hasn't been happening.
I'm with you. I got a C, mostly because it's a whole lot of chit-chat. C is for chit-chat, and not a whole lot of productivity.
Yeah. I mean, it's his worst field goal percentage over a 4-game span in his career.
It's one of the worst in the history of the NBA in the finals.
But I'm still giving him a C, because, you know, it's not about how much he scores. And I think it's how you finished. I appreciated how he accepted the.
This is a parent-teacher conference.
You're so kind.
Draymond can improve. He needs improvement.
Yeah, he needs improvement.
Last week when he knew started to behave.
Okay, let's move on to the Celtics and Boston star player Jason Tatum. Has struggled shooting, but he's tried to make up for it with playmaking, which is something that you pointed out throughout this series. What grade are you giving Jason Tatum right now, Brian?
This will probably be higher than others would. I'm going to say B+.
Okay.
She's leaning back for me again.
She didn't like that. I love Wendy.
She didn't like that. You know, Ime Udoka was asked about this yesterday, and he says just because you're shooting bad doesn't mean that you're playing bad, and that's a fair point. He's just not been the first-team All-NBA player in this series. He hasn't been clean. He hasn't been aggressive. He's been looking for fouls. They just need more out of him. But I don't think he's playing terribly. In their 2 wins, he's averaged 11 assists. In their 2 losses, he's averaged 4.5. He is just as important as a setting-the-table guy as he is as a scorer for them. And he has been able to do that a little bit. He's just
you're right. You were a little bit high, but not by much. I got a C. I just love it. Average. I mean, these guys to me have expectations. Into this, you knock off the Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks. The conversation is, are you pulling up your chair to the big boys table in the league? And then you've kind of gone silent. I don't want to discredit Game 1 because you're right. He did play really well with the assists, but Wendy's leaning back from me.
That wasn't on Saturday.
I need more. And especially, I think, coming off the Miami series, I thought Jason had turned the corner.
I don't think he would disagree with you, to be honest with you.
I'm grading him on a curve.
Okay, you're so nice.
Okay?
Are you the art teacher?
Yes, exactly. I'm helping you graduate. I'm helping him graduate. No, I'm grading him on a curve because, you know, as we see, he's all not playing like the superstar, but I feel like this may motivate you to have that game that we're waiting for. So I'm a motivating
There you
teacher,
go.
okay? I'm not here to hold you down. Let's talk about the other Jay, Jaylen Brown. Kind of flies under the radar sometimes. But how would you grade him, Brian?
I don't know if I have my grade for Jaylen Brown.
What do you
You
need?
can just say it.
I gave Jaylen a B because he has been.
mine.
Oh,
I got
okay,
you.
here it is. Thank you very much. He has been really good at times, and at times has disappeared, particularly in stretches where they need him. So that stat about his shooting percentage in the fourth quarter is a little bit misleading because he didn't. There you go. He didn't do anything in the fourth quarter of Game 4.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's how I feel. B, because he leads all players in total points in the fourth quarter, but they continue to struggle in crunch time in the fourth quarter, so something doesn't
He's done a lot really well, but he's also at times not been able to make an impact on the game.
Okay, so I guess I'm now the elected teacher because I got an A-
Okay.
for Jaylen. I think he's played really
We have
well.
higher expectations than you do, I guess.
Possibly, because I just think he's been the most consistent for the Celtics, and that matters to me. The fourth quarter aside, I think when he has those explosions, what was it, Game 1, 17 in the first quarter? It might have been Game 3. Game 1, he has a way of energizing the entire roster, and particularly I think he's been underrated defensively in this series.
Yeah, I think that if the series had ended like after 4 games and the Celtics had won, Jaylen Brown would have been probably voted Finals MVP.
Right.
So I don't want to imply that he's not playing well.
Yeah, but he didn't even want to be asked that after that game. That's a tough time. All right, we got our last and final. Great meme, which is, of course.
What are you talking about? What could I have possibly said to upset her?
We do need to clarify. This is not an upset face. This is a very curious face.
I did brush my teeth before this show tonight.
This is a very curious face.
This is A+ meme. We're going to be seeing this.
This was the moment you said bench Draymond, and I was like, ooh,
So it was a spicy take reaction.
It's a spicy take
I mean, you said a lot right.
You did.
Well, stick around.
Well, look, the series is tied up at 2. We're looking to, I mean, that's how I was during that game, just thinking about all the right things you said.
It wasn't just bench Draymond, it was play Looney more, which is what Steve Kerr did.
Yeah. And with Steph's masterpiece in the rear view, players from both teams are focused on the game tonight. Here's a look back at some of the best sounds from the last 2 days.
What's the word of the day going into Game 5?
Focus. It's almost human nature. When our backs is against the wall a little bit, we play with a little bit more focus and determination and intensity.
For us to be successful and win 2 more games, it comes down to the way that we defend, the way that we bring intensity, especially to start games, understanding how they respond after losses. 2 great teams. They know how to respond. They know how to win in other people's buildings. We've shown that. They've shown that. We have to be ready for that response and hopefully, throw the first punch tomorrow.
No matter how hurt you are, no matter how tired you are, you got to keep going. It's basketball. It happened. We let it happen, but it happened. We get an opportunity tomorrow to come out and make up for it.
It's no pressure. It is what it is. We know what we here. We know where we're at. We know it's the finals. We just got to come and do it and let everybody watch and witness.
We've been here before. I want to win by any means necessary, and I'll do whatever it takes.
When I step on that court, I want to win any means necessary. I don't care how ugly or pretty it is. Let's just win, protect our home court. I'm not going to sing Kumbaya or anything. I just want to friggin' win.
And look, both teams know what's at stake tonight. Pivotal Game 5 back here with Monica McNutt, Kendrick Perkins, and guys, it's time now to look at our perfect matchup.
Stop looking at me
in tonight's game, brought to you by Hotels.com. And look, Andrew Wiggins has been showing up in this series, especially when he defends Jason Tatum. When Wiggins is the primary defender,
you can't even see him.
He's holding Jason Tatum.
That's how big he is.
I mean, Isaiah Thomas is behind us right now.
A legend. A legend.
A legend. But Wiggins, when he's the primary defender, he's holding Jason Tatum to 33%. He's also holding Boston overall to under 40%. So, Perk, what's been the key to Wiggins essentially locking up Tatum?
Well, it's called culture, right? It's called culture. And it's the culture of the Warriors. It's the leadership of Draymond Green. It's the leadership of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, and the coaching staff, right? When you think about Andrew Wiggins, all he needed was somebody to believe in him and put that key in his bag. And that's what this Warrior culture has done for him. We look at even last series, we could say that Luka Doncic shot 51% while Andrew Wiggins was guarding him. The 51%, it's the tough shots that he had to take to actually make over Andrew Wiggins. Now he don't have to worry about being the #1 pick or living up to the hype of being the #1 option. He could go out there and play freely and be a #3 defender.
I think
two-way player.
Two-way player. You know, that's a buzzword, right? Steve Kerr called him in our meeting one of the best two-way guys in the league, and he thinks that he's taken the leap in this playoffs run. I asked Andrew post-game if he took it personal at all, the notion that Steph doesn't have enough help. And while he said he didn't, he was just pleased to show up. And he talked about the opportunity to play alongside a guy like Steph. When he's working that hard, how can I not work hard and show up for my teammates? So he definitely kept that Warriors team in it for stretches during that second quarter.
Andrew Wiggins has had a transformative experience with these Warriors, and to your point, Steve Kerr has said they would not be here without Andrew Wiggins, and he's owning his role on this team. Definitely. And he may be a big part of the reason why they get another championship. Speaking of locking someone up, you've been really like putting on the costumes. We saw you in the jailbird pinstripes. There's some other costumes you've been putting on. You're really devoted to this, the entertainment part.
Yeah.
You went to Harvard.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the glasses.
Jack of all trades.
You really are.
And master of none, okay?
No, master of all.
But it's all good. So, I mean, you know, it's just your personality.
No.
You see that? Yeah, that's how.
And you have all of it.
The handcuffs.
You seem to want to keep things going. Like today, this was today.
Yeah, that was today.
You trying to, help out Klay Thompson?
I got some more
Jason
stuff
Tatum?
I got some more stuff in the works.
Okay, no, but because of that, we wanted to help you. We have a couple ideas for you.
Yeah. I'm loving that.
Lucky the Leprechaun. That could be maybe for the next game in Boston.
On record.
But like, we also thought about here. You could do a Tech Pro with the Google
What are you
Glass.
driving? What is that car?
That's I forget what kind of car. The Cybertruck.
Cybertruck. Okay.
Shout out to Matt Ufford with these clutch photoshops.
I'm loving it.
Why do you have a helmet to drive your Cybertruck?
Because he's riding his. That's a really good
bike
point.
and the Cybertruck. Okay, you got both.
You know what I realized? It don't even matter. As long as I got the beard, you can make me into whatever you want to. It's gonna look good.
Are you saying
the girls are having a moment over beards. I'll give you that. Shout out to the culture.
Did you just
Not me. Shout out to Mrs. Perkins.
Is your beard your superpower?
No. I'm just saying, like it's like you want me to be a professor, I got the beard with the glasses. You want me to be a doctor, I got the beard, I got the look. You know what I'm saying? Everything just kind of relates back to the beard.
You're a Renaissance man. You're a Renaissance man. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Look, I want to take a moment to share with you guys the trailer of Disney's new movie Rise. This is actually the story of Giannis Antetokounmpo and his family, and the film starts streaming on Disney Plus June 24th. But we have a sneak peek of it right now. Take a look.
They said I didn't belong.
Look out! Jammed by the rookie!
That it was impossible. But we knew together, we couldn't lose.
When one person in the family scores, the whole family scores.
Give it your all. Disney's Rise, rated PG, streaming June 24th on Disney Plus.
I could not wait for that. Did you see this earlier, guys? Marcus Smart attempting a backward shot. Nailed it.
Wow.
Nailed it. Behind us.
I didn't see that.
He does that before every single game.
Yeah,
Miss that.
I mean, that's who Marcus Smart is. I mean,
That's who Marcus Smart is?
yeah, I mean, no, seriously. You know, he could dance. He turned backwards flips. That don't surprise me at all. He probably worked on that shot yesterday.
He does before every single game.
Yesterday at practice, he hit one from half court with his left hand. That's
He's talented. Now, if he could just stop launching it in the fourth quarter, then maybe
and actually make
shots fired.
Back to Kirk and Christine Williamson.
Yes, I'm back. There's a little segment that we're going to call Did Y'all See That? And we're just going to go over some things that you may have missed in Game 4. Starting with, okay, so my mom's watching the show. Hey, Mom, what's up? Draymond, as we've all talked about, has been very interesting in this final series. And his mom, Perk, I know we talked earlier how you like to go on Twitter. His mom goes on Twitter and says, please, people, stop asking me what's wrong with Dre. I don't know. Maybe this is a clone. LMBO, where is the Draymond that helped us get here? I've never seen this either. I don't know, but if my mom tweeted about me not playing well, I'd be a little upset. I don't know.
No, you know what? That just goes to show you the open relationship that they have and the accountability that Miss Barber did and the great job that she did holding him accountable through life. Because the same thing that she's saying and tweeting out in public, she's saying behind closed doors, and I actually love it. And I hope it sparked Draymond because now I'm not the only one that's seeing that he's not playing well right now. His mama also see it. By the way, she's such a such a sweet lady.
You nailed it. Nailed it.
I know that my mom has before been like, hey, your shirt's like this and that, and I'm like, Mom.
Yeah, I get mad.
Don't tell me I'm mad. Exactly, I get mad too. So if my mom was tweeting, I think I'd be mad.
Yeah, that's a little rough. Okay,
let's go on. This is a family affair. Let's go on to Andrew Wiggins' daughter. Now I want you guys to look very closely at this shirt. She's actually wearing the shirt of him putting Luke on a poster.
As she should.
Run me that shirt.
As she should.
Run me that shirt.
Understated the chains, too. The chains.
Yes.
Perk knows about that.
I do, but as she should, and I love it. Look, who's going to represent you better than yourself, your family, and your children? You know what I'm saying? She's a proud daughter. That's what she's supposed to rock.
Absolutely.
Cass,
that's a hard shirt.
What shirt would your daughter wear if it was like something with you, I don't know, thriving?
None of it. She'd wear a Spider-Man shirt. She's obsessed with Spider-Man. That's it. She rides or dies for Spider-Man.
Okay, finally. So Jason Tatum, when it was tied 39-39, with 5:50 left in the first half, Jason Tatum had this amazing hustle play. Now, he slid pretty far.
He did.
And honestly, we didn't get the whole thing because he slid under the Golden Gate Bridge. He was hanging out with Clay on his boat.
Stop it.
He even visited Draymond Green during his podcast. He's just all the way in his face. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. Oh, wait, there he is again. Y'all didn't see him. You guys weren't paying attention to You guys weren't paying attention, but he also slid in hoop strings. That was before the game. He did that before the game, too.
Wait. Where did he slide? Where did he slide into?
Welcome to Game 4 of the NBA Finals. When a series is 2-1, one team says, we're ready to take complete control of the series, while the other one says, hold on a minute. There's a lot of basketball left to be played. Tatum, another three. Early 7-point lead for Boston. Curry steps back, three-pointer, got it. Curry, back-to-back long-distance threes, and a 5-point lead for the Warriors. Brown drives, scoop layup off the glass. Throws it green, gets the bucket, and one.
Tatum spins inside the free throw line, hangs in the air, little finger roll up and good. Bounce pass, Payton flies in for a dunk.
White spins inside layup. Oh, it's good, and the foul.
Curry fires away, the three ball's good, top of the key.
Spectacular performance for one of the all-time greats on the biggest stage.
This is, to me, one of the best Warrior wins that I can remember.
First of all, what's your feeling heading into this Steph Curry performance? What are you thinking he's going to have?
I don't know. I think the Celtics are really going to come in tonight and they're going to key in on him. And I think Marcus Smart is going to take it personal, and I think he's going to show us why he's the Defensive Player of the Year. I don't see Steph having one of those 30-point nights tonight. Now, will he have about 25 points? Probably so, but it will be on about 22 shots.
Common sense and my respect for you as an NBA veteran and champion tells me that should be what happens. But that's not what I feel. I feel the Celtics are going to stick to their game plan. You think they got to bring a double team once or twice, Perk. But I think the Celtics are going to stick to their and I think it's possible we see another 40-piece.
And he keeps saying that Steph needs to take 30 shots. Do you agree with that?
I think he can take 30 shots.
I think he can take 30 shots. And the way that the Celtics defensive game plan has been going against Steph is basically saying, take 30 shots. We're going to shut off everybody else. But after the performance in Game 4 that he had, I don't see how you stick to that.
I agree with that, but that's not my. From talking to people and listening, unless they're putting up a smoke screen, which is what happens in the playoffs, Perk, I don't think that's what's going to happen. So I don't know.
I don't know if you were watching earlier, but we were handing out grades, and Jaylen Brown like a B to B plus grade.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Because right now.
No, I don't. No, I don't agree with it.
You know what?
No.
That was Jaylen.
I know he did it on purpose. But listen, here's the thing. No, I don't agree with it. I kind of give him a C for not being consistent throughout the entire course of a game. He has played well in quarters. Like, for example, we saw him in Game 1 when he went off in the fourth quarter. In Game 3, I believe it was, he went off in the first quarter and set the tone. Can he put together 48 minutes of great basketball? So I'll give him a C.
So we're tied at 2 games apiece. So you're giving Jaylen Brown a C. Has he been their best player? Is he their MVP?
He has been their best player, and this is the reason why I say Steph should win the Finals MVP, because it's not even close. If we're giving Jaylen Brown a B, and I'm giving him a C+, what is Steph grade right now? It got to be an A+, right?
It's pretty darn good.
Yeah, we didn't even grade it.
Okay, well, I did. That's A+.
We did not give good grades to Draymond Green. Obviously, he's struggling offensively, but he's still leading the Warriors in assists and has remained an active presence in their, offensive sets as a screener. About him being compared to Ben Simmons. You had an interesting comparison on your podcast. Draymond Simmons.
Ben Simmons won't shoot. Draymond shouldn't shoot. That's 2 different things. He shouldn't shoot.
You know what? Ever since we did the collab of
the Hoop Collective?
The Hoop Collective and the Swaggo and Perk, you've been a different winner, and I love it. I love it. I swear I love it.
But should Draymond be doing more? Maybe not shooting more, but should he be doing more?
Well, here's the thing. The way that the Celtics are playing him, they're daring him to do more. And that's why I thought Steve Kerr went to his late game adjustments and went to Kevon Looney, because at least Looney is going to the best. All out. We're not asking them to go out there and score 25.
In this game doesn't even involve Draymond. It involves what's happening right because Robert Williams is warming up. Williams' knee is feeling right now, Perk, will dictate how well he can move. Move very well. It means the Celtics can play him a lot more minutes. And when Robert Williams plays, Draymond struggles because he struggles with the length, and also they can put Robert Williams on Draymond and not worry about what he does, and Robert Williams can play free safety. If Robert is hurting and they have to take him out of the game, that makes it more easier
And
to
he was
play
their best
Draymond.
player to start that game 4.
And they had to take him out in the fourth quarter because his knee was bothering him, and that's when Draymond came back. So as good as Draymond is, I think he's a Hall of Famer. I'm almost watching Robert Williams to see what kind of game Draymond's going to have.
Are you saying that Draymond Green is unplayable in this series right now?
At times, he's not the best player to put on the court.
Okay, I said this in game 1, and people went crazy on me. Look, some series are meant for you and some are not. I think the athleticism and the size and the length is causing Draymond Green, along with on Looney, but I still at least would try to give a shot to Kuminga. You know, like
I don't know.
Let me explain
when
to you.
you were a rookie, would you be able to come play in this game?
Let me explain to you why. Try him out for a minute. I'm not saying start him, but they have an old saying. Hey, if I give you 1 minute, show me a reason why I should give you 2 minutes. That's all I'm saying. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. He can't do no.
Still has a role, but not for 38 minutes. It shouldn't be Draymond 38 minutes, Looney 17. In game 4, it was Looney 28, Draymond 33. That's closer to what it needs to be.
What about his extracurriculars? Is that still?
I don't care about him.
You know what? I don't care, as long as his team don't care about it or whatever the case may be. But I did bring this guys that I played against who's now retired, and I asked them a question. I said, you know what? If a guy was on your team and you was in the finals and he was doing a podcast and he wasn't producing, how would you react? And he said we wouldn't tolerate it. And I thought about the teams that I was on, and if a guy had a podcast and it was somewhat being a distraction to him and he wasn't producing, guess what? We would tell him about it and we would not accept it. So, I mean, that's the difference of the old school and this new school stuff.
Okay, but that was the secret word. And so that means Draymond Green podcast. I mean, I kind of teed you up because we're counting down here. I kind of walked you into that one.
So excited.
I was so excited. You made a very sound points, but I just needed you. Yeah,
she was like,
yes.
You know, this
I did kind of like
messed up the
throw
whole
the
show.
lob. I was
That is messed up the whole show.
It matches with your other chain.
No, it don't match with nothing. It don't match with me. It don't match with nothing.
Okay. So I do want to just discuss a little bit about the stat that we keep hearing when it comes to the Celtics. They find a way to win after losses. Grant Williams just bumped into you.
Yes, I'll
it's okay.
That's my protege.
Do you think that trend happens again tonight? Because it has been what's defined them and their motivation.
So they haven't lost back-to-back games with their starters since January. And the reason that is because it's the better team. And I think they're the better team in this series, but it's close. And so they need to play a clean game tonight. Tatum needs to play a clean game. The Celtics need to play a clean game. They can win here. This is not an environment that matches Oracle Arena. It's not quite as difficult to play in.
Yeah, their issues with their turnovers has changed less than their defensive strategy against Steph Curry.
Yes, and so I think if they just play a cleaner, more focused game, I think they've got a good chance of winning, and I think they know that. And I don't sense any panic in them whatsoever. I think they believe they're going to win.
I need you to do me something. I need you to look in that camera and give a pump-up speech to your Celtics. Because you picked Celtics in 6, right?
I picked the Celtics in 7.
Oh, 7, excuse me.
I picked the Celtics in 7. But listen here. Hey, listen. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, look, you have an opportunity in hand to be, part of history, right? Franchises, it doesn't get any better than the Boston Celtics, okay? I don't care what happens in the rest of your life after basketball, you will always have a home in Boston if you win a championship. Free food, free homes, you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay lease, you don't have to pay mortgage.
Have to pay rent?
I'm just trying to tell you how they treat you when you're a champion in Boston. Look, embrace the moment and capitalize
Why would you live in Boston?
Because it's something about the H-Town.
Okay. Look, BPI has it gives us 1% chance to win the series.
No, that's disrespectful.
Okay.
That is disrespectful.
So what's your
Well, I still got the Celtics in 7. but it's not that high. Look, one thing about it, as long as they got Steph Curry over there with the light-skinned brother with the green eyes, you got a problem.
Listen, it's a 2-2 Game 7 in the finals. We have an all-time great player in Steph Curry who is sensing that this could be his moment in his career. Whatever happens, I'm very, very excited to watch it.
Yep. Hey, if Steph has another big game, we're going to get you some colored eye contacts, give you some green eyes. That's all I'm saying.
I just want them to follow me back on Twitter, and we're going to take this off soon as it's over. That's all I want Steph to do. Hey, Steph, I'm not a hater. Follow me back, dog.
Thanks for watching Hoop Streams presented by Hotels.com. We're back live on Thursday from Boston for Game 6. Enjoy the game on ABC and the ESPN app.